Christopher de Santiago with Sports Illustrated's MMA Knockout, here today with the Baltic Gladiator, Modestas Bukauskas. After amazing win at UFC Seattle last week, Modestas, how's it going today, man?
Yeah, going very well, thank you. It's my pleasure to be able to speak to you today, brother.
Awesome, man. Well, talk to me about the after party. You said that you were going to celebrate after the win in Seattle. What did you get up to over there?
Yeah, that was definitely said with a lot of emotions on the high and a lot of adrenaline still pumping through my veins. But there was definitely the after party. In all fairness, it wasn't exactly what I expected, but it was just amazing to be around like my close group of people, just like I say, like my really close friends and like family and my team and everything. And yeah, we just had a load of drinks and got a little bit buck wild in the club, and then we were off on our way back to the hotel room.
How did it feel to stick the landing on the backflip?
Oh, mate, to be honest, I actually messed it up a little bit. Like halfway as I went up, I was like, crap. Like I misjumped it basically because I'm supposed to do the flip a little bit later. I did it too early. So I was like, I already knew when I went to do it, I was like, crap, this isn't gonna land well. But I was lucky that I was able to salvage it like right at the last minute.
Do you remember or do you like recall the first time you were able to do a backflip?
Yes, actually. It's funny because in wrestling, I do all the different flips, like the ones off your head, the bridges and all this kind of other stuff. And I thought, do you know what? I've never actually tried a backflip in my life. And in my gym at home, we've got like a crash mat. And my dad used to do like gymnastics and stuff like this. He was very athletic when he was younger. So he pretty much guided me through how to do the backflip because I already had all the movements sort of like in the bank already. Like I knew how to go back, but it was a case of just jumping in the air and flipping. And yeah, my dad essentially was the one who pretty much taught me how to do it for the first time. But literally, I think I jumped it about 20 times, and then yeah, by like the 20th time, I managed to get it.
Awesome. Do you ever like plan on using your flexibility like to do like showtime kicks off the cage or anything crazy like that, or is that not your style?
I've just not had the opportunity, mate. It's funny because a lot of the fights that I've had, it seemed that the boxing has been the thing that has been working the best for me. Using my hands and closing the distance. So, but definitely, it was funny because that was one of the things I was actually working on in camp was just to be able to use all my kicks a little bit more. But like I say, in this fight, I just wasn't given the opportunity to do so. But yeah, 100% down the line, mate, you can expect to see some crazy kicks coming out.
In your post-fight press conference, you mentioned that you could be interested in fighting a guy on the same card, like maybe Ion Cutelaba. Looks like that fight's in the works. What can you tell me about Ion Cutelaba? Has that guy been on your radar for a while now?
Yeah, in all fairness, like I'd been looking to fight him previously. The name had sort of been like thrown about a little bit for one or another reason. It didn't happen. And like I say, now both of us coming off of two big wins. Obviously, both of us coming off of finishes. Fighting on the same card. This definitely makes sense for the winner to be going up into the rankings and going close towards the top 15, which is what both of us want. So it just makes sense.
Is this your first time fighting in Canada?
It will be, yeah, yeah. First time fighting in Canada. Look, first for everything. But it was my first time fighting in Seattle. Now it's going to be my first time fighting in Canada, and yeah, it's very exciting.
With Ion, what do you make of his antics? Because he likes to get it into his opponent's faces at the weigh-ins. He even got into the face of his last opponent at the inside the cage. What do you make of his antics?
Part of the game, man. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you just got to not let it affect you. That's his moniker. He's the Hulk for a reason. That's what he likes to do. That's how he likes to play it. It's entertaining for the fans. So let him do it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you got to go out there and fight. So whatever the antics are, we're going to have to throw down in a second. So, like I say, I think it's good for entertainment purposes.
Are you impressed with what you've seen from him as of late? Because he does feel like a different fighter. I feel like he would be a fighter who would lose a few fights and then come back, lose a few more. But now he's really got some momentum. So I guess what do you make of his latest success?
Yeah, I feel like we're both on the same sort of trajectory. We're both now starting to find our groove in the light heavyweight division. Both of us coming up with good performances. So that's why it's going to make for a very explosive matchup. He's like I say, he's very skillful in many different areas. He always comes to fight. So, like I say, it's very exciting.
Have you started doing the tape study yet, or is that until like later on?
Yeah, no, I've already been looking at and seeing what he likes to do, and already in my head I have an idea as to what to sort of expect from him. At the end of the day, you know, you got to go into a fight, prepare for a certain thing, and then always be able to adapt whilst you're in the cage because they may just change their game plan, you know, on the fly. But like I say, you know, obviously he's a very strong wrestler, got very heavy hands, and yeah, we'll be prepared for that.
You've won six out of your last seven. He's won three out of his last four. Do you kind of feel like a ranking's got to be on the line in this one?
100%. That's what I'm working towards. That's essentially what I want. So if that's what I want, then I'm pretty sure that's going to be what he wants as well. So like I say, it's just a case of who comes out on top and who's going to go closer towards the rankings. So this is why it's very intriguing, and which is why, like I say, I'm very excited for this matchup.
I guess what got you into the octagon so fast? I mean, and what did you do on the few days of break that you did have between these fights?
Yeah, so it was funny because obviously in my post fight press conference I'd mentioned that I would like the winner of it. They said, "Oh, what will your next fight be?" And I said, "Yeah, well, it probably be the winner of Cutelaba and Aslan." And then it just so happened to be Cutelaba, and both of us came out unscathed. Both of us came out no injuries. We finished it pretty fast. So like I say, it only kind of made sense. And then, when I got the call from my manager, it wasn't necessarily, like a big surprise. It was more like, okay, I kind of expected this to happen. But obviously, even then, I spoke to Jason, my manager, and he even said, oh, yeah, we're probably looking around like May, June time. And then, like I say, lo and behold, that ended up happening. So, yeah, everything just happened exactly strategically how we would have expected it to happen.
Are you gonna paint your body a certain color? Because I know he likes to dress up as a Hulk for his wins.
To be honest, I don't necessarily know what Baltic Gladiator colors would be, but at the end of the day, like I say, I'm going in there with the warrior spirit and the warrior energy, the gladiator vibe. So, Hulk meets the gladiator. So, yeah, like I say, I'm sure it's going to be a very live weigh-in. That's for sure.
I gotta ask, did you watch Gladiator II in theaters?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I actually thought the storyline was actually really good. I thought
Yeah.
carrying on from the last film, they did a great job. However, I did think some of the stuff was a little bit suspect, like, doing the whole like if you got to imagine where this is set in time, like a lot of the stuff that ended up, like the battle, for example, with the water and the sharks,
The water,
it
yeah.
kind of seemed a bit too futuristic. You know what I'm saying? Like it should have been set like how it would be in those times. But overall, it was a very entertaining film, and I love how they did the spin-off with Lucius. And they used the old film as well. I thought they blended it really well, in my opinion.
Most definitely. Not as good as the first one,
Yeah,
but like I feel like
100%.
it stands on its own pretty good for sure.
Yeah, nothing beats the original, but yeah, it definitely was a good film for sure.
Awesome, man. Well, I think that's all the questions I had for you, Modestus. I just want to thank you again for the time. Is there anything that you want to say to the fans out there watching?
My man, again, thank you so much for having me on here. And yeah, just like I say, just for the fans to expect a very explosive matchup, expect both of us to be bringing our A game. And it's on a pay-per-view card. So yeah, both of us are going to be going after it.